Zone focusing is so incredibly easy. I'm here in San Francisco today. I'm gonna show you guys the 3 T's that I put into practice when I'm zone focusing. And we're gonna go ahead and start off, we're gonna get right into it by talking about the technical. So as we talk about the technical, let me just get right into it with the lens here. Zone focusing is super simple. What it means is that you have a scale on your lens, like this 28 Summicron. I have it from 2.5 feet or 0.7 meters, which is pretty common on Leica lenses, all the way to infinity. There's meters and there are feet. I'm going to be speaking in meters, but you can also see feet on here. So basically the way the scale works is you have an arrow here in the middle. Whatever you point that arrow at is the correct distance for like perfect focus, but you have a range based on your aperture of what will be in focus. So for instance, at f8, I have it right now at 8 feet, which is 2 to 3 meters. So at f8, that tells me that from 1.5 meters or about 5 feet to 10 meters or about 30 feet are going to be in focus. I have a huge range if I want to walk around of things that are going to be in focus. Now, look, that all sounds well and good. I'm going to prove it to you and show you. Check this out. I got this laser, this laser tape measure on Amazon for about 20 bucks. Jen, I can't see the laser because it's too bright, but I'm just gonna hit it. So Jen right now is 0.5 meter away. So go back, straight back. Jen is 3 meters away. So Jen is 3 meters. So if I make it 3 meters on the lens, Jen, then by that logic is gonna be in focus. And you can see it right now, Jen is in fact in focus. We're gonna take this up a level and create the zone itself. I brought some soccer cones. All right, so Jen, come here. Our zone at 2.5 meters is going to take us from 5 feet to 30 feet or 1.5 meters to about 10 meters. Let's see what we can do here. We'll create the zone from like, I don't know, right here. Right now, Jen is 1.5 meters away from me. That's the beginning of the zone. Now we're gonna take you back. All right, go. Stop. I got an error. I think she's too far. Amazon cheap laser thing. Okay, hold on. Give me this thing. All right, that's 1.5 meters. We're gonna go to 10 meters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's too far. Maybe about right here. Let's say this. Okay, so by zone focusing logic now, anywhere Jen is inside of these cones, if I stand behind this stick, Jen's gonna be in focus. Like, I'm just gonna put it up and mock it. There we go. She's in focus. Let's double check. There she is. She's in focus. Everything I'm doing right now, Jen is gonna be in focus. Come towards me. Come even closer. Get real close. All right, let's take a look. Oh, they're gonna love these photos. You're perfectly in focus. Let's go back to when you were further away. Look, you're in focus. As you can see on the screen, everything that I just did in between these 2 cones here is in focus. So my personal settings, whenever I'm gonna go out and shoot, is to put it at 2.5 meters, because look at the range here. If somebody is that close to me and I'm walking around, they will be in focus. But if they are as far away as the other cone, go Jen, go. They will also be in focus. It's a huge zone. Now, I do need to add, this is a 28. Let's see how the zone changes if I go to a lens like a 50. So on a 50, it's gonna be a little different. Those same settings, 2.5 meters at f8 on a 50 is going to give us a much smaller range. So we're talking like 6 feet, so about almost 2 meters to probably about 9 feet. So let's measure that out. Okay, put the cone right there. Now take this one and take 2 steps back. Right, try that. Further, further, further. One more step back, big step right there, put it down. So on our 50 now, this exact same setting has a smaller range because the focal length is going to make the zone smaller. So come up in between those, just walk towards me. She's such a goofball. Gonna take like 4 or 5 shots here. All right, that's good. Yeah, there we go. Jen is in focus. So we have a smaller range on a focal length like 50, a much bigger range on a focal length like 28. So from a technical standpoint, if you're trying to get into this, you can just get yourself a wide lens to learn how to do it and just put those settings in place. So now let's go on a walk around this part of San Francisco and see what we can find. For this entire walk, I'm just going to be zone focusing 2 to 3 meters and occasionally changing it up to see if I can get anything closer or further away from me. I'll also add that I'm looking for things that are red. This is the middle of the day on a weekday, so not a ton going on in the city right now. So having a color or some type of subject to look for just makes it a little more fun. And you can see how fast I can quickly just pop things off here. Zone focusing just makes you instantly available to take a photograph. So the first T was technical. We've mastered that down there at the park. The second T is trust. Because if you set this up, like I've set it up here, 2 to 3 meters, f8, and I know what the zone is. I know how big that zone is. But if I look through here, it doesn't look right. It looks like the patch is completely misaligned, which would tell me that I'm actually not gonna be in focus. That, my friends, is a lie. You can trust the zone that it will in fact be in focus, even if the patch says it's not. A lot of people, when they start getting into zone focusing, they double check it. They wanna, look and see, okay, I know I've got the setup right. I know that's right, but when I look through here, it's way out of focus. But then you take the photo and you look and it actually is in focus. So you have to trust the camera, trust the zone. It will work out. Don't look through the patch. The patch is a lie. Trust the zone. A good example of trusting the zone was this moment right here. A bus went by, and because I had zone focused already, I trusted the zone and just grabbed this shot. Same thing right here. I can walk by, change my zone, and quickly just go for any photo I want. If you're walking around and you're zone focusing and you're gonna change your zone, like if someone's close to me, I'm gonna switch to 1 to 2 meters. And if things are like really far, especially at f8, just hyperfocal, just all the way to the end. I kind of keep my middle finger on the focus tab. So as I'm walking, I can just change the zone up like that. It's just super easy. So like my thumb is on the shutter and my middle finger is here to change that zone as I'm walking. Like here's something close. And then if I wanted to go far, then I can do both of those things just with a quick move with the focus tab. And that's why all of my lenses have to have a focus tab. So in addition to zone focusing, the type of photography that I'm doing today is called hip shooting. I've talked about hip shooting numerous times on this channel, and I will link a video right above so you can check it out if you want. But essentially, when you're shooting from the hip, you just keep your camera low, you keep your camera balanced, and then you just make any photos you want as you're walking around. Our third and final T is tolerance, because if you look at some of like the great street photography, not everything is like critically sharp. Digital photography has us chasing this idolatry of sharpness, but really story is what matters most. So there's a certain level of tolerance you have to have. It's almost better on film, because on film, the fact that it's a 35mm film strip, not 60 megapixels like this camera is, it'll make you like feel like it's in focus. And on digital, if you pixel peep, it might be a little soft. That's where the tolerance comes in. Not every photo has to be perfectly sharp if the story is good. So when I'm out zone focusing, I'm more interested in capturing good moments. And if it's just a little off either way, not really that big of a deal. So you have to have a little tolerance. And once you get comfortable with the technical and you learn to trust the camera and you are okay when things aren't quite perfect, you can walk around and really just focus on getting fun compositions. I would even say that like a next level for this is getting to know the distances really well. Like in this moment, I'm just leaned up against a light pole. I've got the distance set as this group of kids are about to cross the street. I've got my zone set up for where they are going to be. And as they cross the street, I get the shot. Then I can change the zone, flip it over the shoulder, and get this one. And this is, of course, within my range of tolerance. So it's fun capturing things that are red as I'm walking around today. Again, having some type of target while you are walking around gives you something to aim for rather than just endlessly walking and not knowing what to shoot. One of the most important things you can do for your photography is get in the steps. Just go out and make it work. When I first started zone focusing, I wasn't that great at it, but today I have a ton of confidence in it because I've done it a lot. This is one of those situations where practice does make perfect. And so as you go out and you zone focus and you get to know those distances, get to trust the zones, be okay with how they look in the end, you'll just get more and more comfortable and have more and more fun being a photographer. All right, so the point of today was not to get like the most epic banger photos, but to prove the point that this system works. If you know the technical part, you can trust it, and you have that appropriate amount of tolerance, you're gonna get great photos using zone focus. It is not hard. It's actually really easy. You just gotta go out there and do it and have fun with it. So that's what we did today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like this video. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.